When you think of ancient Egypt, the same images always come to mind: pyramids, mummies, hieroglyphs. But the true magic of this civilization lies in the details. Today, I'll take you to the unknown side of Egypt, from rituals where brains were removed through the nose, to sacred beetles, and a world where even men wore makeup. If you're ready, history is about to be rewritten. 1. Mummification and brain removal. For the Egyptians, death was not an end, it was another beginning. That's why preserving the body was sacred. One of the most fascinating parts of the mummification process was the removal of the brain through the nose. Yes, you heard that right. Using a thin hook-like tool, they would enter through the nostril and extract the brain piece by piece. Egyptians believed that thought and emotion resided in the heart, not the brain, so the brain was seen as useless. This ritual required both religious devotion and surgical precision. And even today, it remains one of the most astonishing practices in history. 2. Who built the pyramids? Hollywood told us that slaves built the pyramids. But the truth is very different. Archaeological discoveries show that these massive monuments were built by paid workers. Near Giza, archaeologists found workers' villages with bakeries, beer jars, meat remains, and small tombs. These people were well fed, cared for medically, and honored in death. Under the blazing desert sun, stone blocks were lifted shoulder to shoulder, not by chains, but by faith and organization. They weren't just building tombs for their pharaohs, they were immortalizing divine power. Each stone was a prayer, an offering to the gods, a legacy for future generations. Perhaps what keeps the pyramids standing isn't just stone, but the unshakable belief of those who built them. Even today, those colossal monuments rising from the desert stand as eternal stories of human determination and creativity. 3. Sacred animals and beetles. In Egypt, not only humans were sacred, animals were too. Especially one small creature, Scarabaeus sacer, the dung beetle. This tiny insect rolls a ball of dung across the sand, and Egyptians compared that motion to the sun god Ra, rolling the sun across the sky. Each morning, Ra carried the sun from east to west, then descended into the underworld only to be reborn again. That's why the scarab became a symbol of rebirth and eternal life. Scarab amulets were placed over the heart of mummies to ensure that the heart would be judged fairly in the afterlife. But sacredness wasn't limited to beetles. Cats represented the goddess Bastet, hawks symbolized Horus, cows were linked to Hathor, and crocodiles to Sobek. The death of a cat could send an entire household into mourning, and temple cats were mummified and buried with honor. For the Egyptians, all of nature was part of a divine cycle, every creature a message from the gods waiting to be understood. 4. Obsession with cleanliness and health. The ancient Egyptians were almost obsessive about cleanliness. They bathed several times a day, shaved their heads, and wore wigs. For them, hygiene was not only about the body, it was a way to purify the soul. They had toothpaste, mouthwash, and even natural deodorants thousands of years ago. Cosmetics were used not just for beauty, but for protection from disease. Perfumes were believed to ward off evil spirits. Egyptian physicians used herbs to make medicines, treated wounds, and even performed simple surgical procedures. To them, cleanliness was a path to the divine. In Egypt, hygiene wasn't a habit, it was a sacred duty. 5. Makeup and perfume culture. In ancient Egypt, beauty wasn't just for women. Men too lined their eyes, colored their faces, and wore fragrances. Beauty was seen as a reflection of respect for the gods. Eye makeup wasn't only aesthetic, it protected against the harsh sunlight and desert insects. Perfumes were made from rare flowers, oils, and resins, each scent a symbol of status and identity. For the Egyptians, makeup wasn't decoration, it was art, a statement of self. Ancient Egypt wasn't just a civilization of stone monuments, it was a civilization of details. The closer you look, the clearer it becomes. They were far ahead of their time. So tell me, which of these facts surprised you the most? Leave a comment and let's keep uncovering the secrets of the past together.